We OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got D or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro.
Run stuff.
Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nuki on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. So what is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for another Ordinal Hour, and it's going to be an explosive one. We got so much going on. Bitcoin has been a roller coaster lately, down, then up, and then down again, and now up again. It's been fun. It's been exciting. I'm just glad something's happened, right? We got some volume. I think between 60 and 70K has been probably the most boring time, because I think we're all expecting 2024 to be a big year. We did have a couple of really good months in the early days, but now it's been very boring the last 145 days or so. But I think things are about to pick up. It was definitely a sell in May and go away type of thing. I think 67 was June 1st. So I mean, now we're down here around 62, plus or minus. But it's been just so boring. But I think July and August are going to be a lot better for us. I think July and August are going to be those months where we're just like, damn, we should have bought in June. And the preparation that you're putting in now is going to really be make you successful in the upcoming months. And I'm here for it. I hope everyone who's watching this gets absolutely rich, and I think we will, man. I do. I think that being here in Ordinals, being in Runes, being in Merlin is going to set you apart from every other EVM or Solana or all that stuff. So just stick here. You're in the right place. I can assure you that. And if you weren't, we wouldn't do a show every single day, right? So without further ado, let's get this thing started. Bring in my partner, as always, Fittest. What's up, buddy?
What's up? What is up?
What's going on, man? Up and down and up and down. How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling like I'm ready to, kick Hump Day's ass, right? And I feel like that's kind of what we're going through, a little bit of a hump here, trying to get over it with Bitcoin. And I think that we've started that, journey to get over this recent hump, and might have a little bit longer of pain, but I don't think it's going to be too much longer. So I think you hit on some really good points in the intro there. So great job in terms of, focusing and really dissecting your portfolios and seeing what you have the most conviction in and why you have conviction in those and things like that. It's the time to really, get serious, right? Because these are the times where it's like the biggest opportunity. And so I'm looking at it like that. It's an opportunity, not a depressing time period.
100%. And if you guys don't know, we're doing a challenge, a 5K to 100K challenge. We're starting with 5K and we're turning that into 100K. So far, we've DCA 2,500, a little less than that. But if you guys are a member, you guys can go watch those 2 videos. We have episode 1 and episode 2 out. So check that out. Episode 2 was put out last night. So if you haven't watched that yet, go watch it. We added 2 new coins to the portfolio. Go find out what they were. But,
Yep.
all right, let's get on with the show here. Some big Bitcoin news again. BlackRock Spot Bitcoin ETF did 1.1 billion in trading volume. Well, that was yesterday. It says today, but it was yesterday because I put that in there yesterday. But yeah, so absolutely insane. BlackRock 1.1 billion. On a slow day. What happens in 6 months from now when Bitcoin's flying? Are we going to see like 10, 20 billion traded as in ETF form in like one ETF? It's pretty wild.
Yeah. You could see, obviously, you will see like a ramp up, right?
Yeah.
These are, for the most part, I would assume, pretty decent, investors. They're going through BlackRock, they're going through Fidelity to buy this Bitcoin ETF. I feel like the more newer type investors would use Robinhood, that kind of platform, right?
Yeah.
So I think that it might not be crazy aggressive, but they're going to try to take advantage, obviously, of a bullish Bitcoin, right? So I think it kind of matches and stays in line with how Bitcoin does. We'll see inflows increase. So
100%. I agree. All right. We'll jump into the next thing here. So, dude, all the Republican senators are bullish on Bitcoin right now. So, U.S. Senator Ted Cruz expressed his support for Bitcoin mining in Texas, stating, "I believe Texas should embrace Bitcoin mining." He added, "I personally own 3 mining rigs located in, was it Iran, Texas? Iran?
yes.
Yeah.
I think it's Iran.
How far is
Yeah.
that from you? A few hours?
Man, that's a small. I think that's a smaller like country town. So I
Okay.
can't remember what part of Texas is so big, right? I don't know what part of Texas it's in, but
Yeah. Texas is massive, especially the size of. I mean, Pennsylvania is like, I think, like half the size of Texas.
yeah, it's really big. And it's a tiny town, like in West Texas. It looks like, yeah. So somewhere I definitely would not want to be. No offense to West Texans out there. A couple
Yeah.
spots, Midland, Odessa. I had
Yeah.
good friend grow up from there. But once you get further west, it's like desert, man. It's like that.
Is that area like the my mother's my sister type of area?
No, no, actually, West Texas isn't like. I mean, it's
Okay,
definitely like you have your cowboys and stuff like that, but it's a different
I
kind of
got you.
country. East Texas is more kind of that, like I would say country where people were
Okay,
might be
my mother's
related.
my sister.
It doesn't really happen here in Texas. That's more Arkansas
Okay.
and stuff. No offense to
Okay. When I hear it down south, I just think of that voice. I don't know why. And then but moving along here, sorry guys. Congressman Matt Gaetz, another Republican congressman, pushes bill for federal income tax to be paid in Bitcoin. I saw this and I saw Wendy O. She posted, "I will not be paying my taxes in Bitcoin," but she doesn't get it. Like that, by doing this, you make it legal tender almost, right?
Yeah, I mean, if the government wants it, then why would everyone else not be bullish about it, right? So,
Yeah.
I think this is a very, very bullish thing. But, I think it's not just Republicans now. Like Democrats are starting to come out and they're realizing like how, I guess, effective the crypto lobbyists, if you will,
Yeah.
are, because there was a big time Democrat that lost his election recently. I want to say like yesterday. And it was a guy that was on the stage with AOC at the Bronx thing. She
Oh
was
yeah.
dancing around. That guy lost, and there was I think like a $14 million like crypto donation to this campaign, and it really like blew him out. And so now they're like up. She's upset obviously because she feels like a special interest group or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, they all receive help from special interest groups, right?
Yeah.
To support their, whether it's a green initiative or whatever. But this is showing how strong like digital currencies are starting to be in America. It's bullish, and you see all this news right now.
There's trillions of dollars over here that has never been used in in this way before that it can be used today. So this is big, guys. Like being in crypto right now, we're winning. We're winning here, and it's just showing, and they're all noticing. And just like Gandhi said, like first they ignore you, and then they fight you, and then you win, right? So, we're winning. We're in. Congratulations if you're still here, and if you're
Mhm.
not here, then you're not watching us. So, but moving on here. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Don't get shaken out by corrections, especially not at this stage. So I found this really, really amazing rainbow chart. And
The
it is
rainbow
private.
chart
I
is
should show the
back. I like
rainbow
it.
chart, right? So, so if you look here, this is always the last dip before a top, right? So we got the last dip here before the top. Last dip was here before the top. Could this be the last dip here before the top?
It could be. It very well could be. It's hard to compare,
Yeah,
previous cycles, but the one thing that just it stays, constant is that Bitcoin goes up eventually, right?
yeah,
And I think that that's all we have to really care about because trying to time when that last dip is going to be or trying to time when that first leg is going to be, everybody's going to be off, right? Like
yeah.
you can be close to it, but yeah, I mean, if you
But
look at
if you
the
zoom out though, dude, it's pretty, it's like
yeah,
in the
I was gonna
beginning.
say it looks a little. It definitely looks shorter than where the dips were before, but I'm not looking. I can see the circle actually covers up the end
Yep.
of it. So if you look at the circle and where it covers up the end of it, it does seem kind of like on point in terms of like the timeline, right?
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit early. So we might, go through July a little bit choppy, a little bit, and then
Well,
maybe a
I
week.
think this is a super cycle. So getting it here shows you, I think we're gonna ride, we usually ride the red a little bit. I think we ride in red a lot longer than any other time in history. I think we're gonna ride the red here pretty much maybe an entire year, because it's just everything is just pointing that way. I mean, we're getting a president who's coming to the Bitcoin National Conference. You know what I mean? Like, a former president is going to be speaking at Bitcoin Nashville. Like, it's absolutely insane. Like, everything is pointing that way. We're about to pay our taxes in Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I wouldn't say that, but they're
well,
pushing for
I'm
it. Yeah.
just saying, like, it's going to be a potential possibility if Trump gets in. Trump gets in next year, that bill might get passed, right? You have the Republicans, and you just go right to the president. Doesn't get vetoed, gets pushed in. So it's one of those things. Within the next couple of years, it's going to be a thing. You have a congressman who is mining Bitcoin in a little town in Texas that nobody heard about. Like, all the signs are just pointing to north. If Bitcoin can ride that red line, what the hell can these altcoins do? It's going to be absolutely insane.
I agree. I agree. I mean, I just like the total outlook of what we're about to go into does seem like an opportunity of a lifetime, right?
Yeah,
And people before last cycle, some people had that same conviction, which turned out to
yep,
be right for a lot of people, right? And so we're in that like I would just say like feel blessed because your mindset is right now. If you're watching this
yeah,
or if you're paying close attention right now and you're not like your focus isn't elsewhere because you're here at the right time, even though it
yep,
seems choppy and slow and Bitcoin's getting hurt a little bit here and there. But that's the perfect time to get in, right? Or like be
yep.
focused right before the great stuff starts to happen, right? Imagine if you got in the middle of all the craziness and trying to figure things out, then that's not the right
Yeah.
time to do it. So
Not even a little bit. I 100% agree. You guys are in the right place at the right time, and you got to remember too. To my point of this explosion that's going to happen, the Fed has never went into a presidential year would have 5 bullets in their gun, and I say that because their interest rates. He can shoot a bullet off tomorrow, and we could skyrocket to all new highs. Like, that's that quickly, because like I said before. The rich don't like to invest their own money. They like to borrow at cheap rates and invest that money and try to beat that rate. It's kind of a game to them, but
yeah,
they're not gonna go at a 5%, because to them you can just invest that in USDT, and it's very I'm not USDT eventually, but you can invest that in a bond and earn 5%. So for them, they're okay with the 5%. But then if the interest rates drop and they can get a loan out against 3% and then take that and try to get 6 to 8%, and they're going to go into something safe like Bitcoin, you're going to see mountains of money pour into Bitcoin. And that's just if he drops it 1 point. If he drops it 2 points or even 3 points, the entire economy is going to explode. Inflation is going to skyrocket, but at the same time, everyone's going to feel rich. And what's that going into? You're going into an election period, November 7th. Everyone's feeling rich. It's really good for the Biden administration, and they know that. So I potentially think the next 4 to 5 months are going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah, I mean, going down 3% and a short period of time to me is I don't think
Yeah,
we
it happened
but
4
like
years ago.
yeah, but I think even going down 1% is the big deal, right? So I agree with you in terms of corporations or like institutions trying to get money to make more money. That's just
Yeah,
a kind of a rule of thumb for them, right? But you're right, they're not going to take loans out if it's risky and then go into a
yeah,
what's said as a high risk asset, right? It
yep,
just doesn't make sense from a business fundamental perspective. But hey, we've been going through this rate
yeah,
hike or pause for long enough, and it's going to end. And I think
yeah,
it's like this. It's the same thing as Bitcoin. Like we know Bitcoin's going to get to past 100K. We know it's going to eventually get past 200K. We know that rates are going to get cut eventually. It's the same fate for both of those.
yeah.
And it's like they're starting to line up together, so it's perfect.
100%. I agree. Um, let's get right into it, man. So Bitcoin's been up and it's down. I feel like it's Katy Perry song right now. It's up and it's down, but no, just kidding. What do you see on the charts? I know you've been really digging in. You've been spending a lot of time on the charts lately. What are you
Yeah.
saying?
Well, before I get into that, if you're on the YouTube side, please smash that like, subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. Welcome to Ordinal Revolution live stream podcast. And then on the Twitter side, please share this spaces, guys, trying to educate as many people as possible. But thank you guys for doing that. So what I've been seeing with Bitcoin, I've been seeing some things I really like in terms of midterm to longer term. Short term is still a little shaky. I do have a feeling that the market makers want to grab some more liquidity, possibly touch that 58,000 again, 59,000 again, and then bounce back. But I don't necessarily see like further like down. I don't think that 50,000 scenario happens, but who knows? I'm not like a wizard. I can't tell the future. But let me jump into the charts here and kind of give a multiple time frame perspective here. So Bitcoin on the 1 hour, this is what I use for the shorter time frame. Looks like it's wanting to peak back down a little bit more. Yesterday's pump was pretty aggressive for Bitcoin. Yes, it did touch 59,000, but it got back to 62,000, pretty quickly. So that was a positive thing. But then today it started slow. Yes, it did bounce back. I think we got close to 61.8, maybe. Where were we? 60. We touched 62 this morning as well. Yeah. So 9 a.m. this morning, Central Time. But it looks like we're trending back down here, right? So once you have been in oversold, you pop about into the middle, can head back down here. We were in overbought for a very long time. So I don't imagine we just shoot right back up here. I think in the short term, we probably get, down to 61,000, 60,800 range, depending on how bad this wants to bleed out. If it seems like a sell-off today, that's maybe we touch that 59,000 for the last time and then jump back up and chop in the lower 60s to mid 60s. So that's the short time frame on the hour chart. If we're taking it to the 4-hour chart, this is my favorite one because I feel like we can get like half of a week ahead forecast. And if you look here, this was good yesterday, showing that, we're trying to come out of this downtrend that started on June 7th. And I feel like the most part of this downtrend probably ended on the 24th. We'll see if this continually goes past here. Obviously, it's a continuation. What we need to do to bounce out of this, though, is get past here, which is 64. I think it's 64,200 right there. Yeah, 64,200 would be kind of that mark. And obviously a little bit extra would make you feel comfortable of a trend reversal, right? And if you look at the last time we came out of a downtrend was right here. And this kind of looks a little similar. Looks a little similar to this. You can see right there. We had this downtrend right here. And then it kind of chopped and up and down, and had a really big, rise in price here that got us out of this downtrend. And we passed this price right here, which was 63,242. And then we kind of started that next uptrend. It did take a little bit of time, but we started it and then we ended up having, chop in the middle. So that's something to look forward to, to see if we do follow something like that, which would, possibly mean a little bit lower and then a strong push up, but we would have to get past, like I said, that 64,200 to give confirmation for that. So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the next couple of days there. I do like this though. I like that, it wasn't a continuation of a strong bleed out here. The 12-hour, which is more of a 2-week time frame, we did pop back out of oversold territory, which is good. This needs to continue up though. We need to actually push up out of here. This is stochastic RSI on the 12-hour chart, and try to get as close to the oversold territory, that 80-point mark on the stochastic RSI, and hang out here a bit. That would be perfect, because we definitely hung out in the oversold for a very long time, and we felt that coming down from 72K to where our low was here at 58. So if this continues up, that's a good sign. Obviously, it does seem like the MACD is showing that the sell-off is weakening here on the 12-hour chart. Once the blue and red line clasp together, that'll give us a little bit more confirmation, but really getting close to that 80-point mark here on the stochastic RSI will make me feel a lot better, and then we can try to come out of this downtrend. So that is what I'm seeing on the short, medium, and longer term for Bitcoin. How you feeling with that?
Yeah. Well, real quick, let me ask you a question before it leaves my brain. So last Tuesday, I asked you this question. I said, where do you see it for Friday? And you were almost dead on. I think you said 63.5, and we were at like 63.7 last Friday. So you were pretty damn close. So I'm going to ask you that same question on this Tuesday. Or what was it? Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? Whatever day it is.
Yeah.
But
Wednesday.
What are you thinking?
Oh man, it's a little bit harder this time for me to pick a price point, because obviously I'm most likely going to get it wrong, because it's hard to get it exactly right. I got lucky kind of using my data as well though. So I mean, Friday, depending on how today goes, I feel like I can get a little bit more clarity, because we are like, if I'm this is what I use to tell like what the second half of the week will do, is the 4-hour chart. And because we have like this downtrend to start today, depending on how strong this momentum goes to sell off, right? If we do get really aggressive to the 58,000, that's actually good in my opinion, because we kind of get that out of the way, right? And then it can aggressively push up, and if that happens, I could see like 63, 64, 65 on Friday. But and that's where most people will be like, well, if you see 58, that's crazy. Yeah, obviously it would have to stop at 58 and show me a quick recovery for today.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, and it just kind of chops back and forth, I'm worried that like we might see another leg down later. And if that happens, we chop back and forth, then we could see that 59.50 or 58.59 on Friday. As opposed to, so today's going to tell me a lot of information on how I feel about Friday. So I think tomorrow morning I'll have more of a clear answer.
Okay, sounds good. But if you had to choose a number today, what would you choose?
If I had to choose a number today, I would probably choose the 59,000 for Friday. Yeah, but that would be, in my opinion, that would probably be one of the last, bleed outs, I feel like.
Yeah, that would basically be this then, right? That would be one of the last forms of the circle right here. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I was not prepared for the Bitcoin fear and greed, so I apologize.
Guys, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. We'll get to those in the Ordinal After Hour, which starts typically at like what, 12:30 Eastern? No, 12 Eastern. 12 Eastern.
12 Eastern. Yeah. All right. So I have it right here. I'll pull this up. So it's looking like we're at a 46. Yesterday we were at a 30. Last week we were at a 64. So 46 up from 30 yesterday. So we did get a little bit more greedy. But we're sitting at a neutral, sitting at a good spot, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, it's so funny because you were like, it'd be great if we got back to like maybe 45, 50 tomorrow. Yep. And that's exactly what happened. Yep. I think yesterday was like bullish sentiment because there was some recovery yesterday. And that's what we're seeing here. And a lot of the alts actually recovered very well. If you think about it, we use
Dog killed it.
Yeah, we use Surf as a leverage platform on Merlin chain. You can see Dog killed it, Merlin crushed it. Some other tokens that they offer there that aren't Bitcoin native assets also crushed it as well. And so I'm curious to see how they respond today, right? Because I think yesterday was probably a little bit overbought for everything. And we'll see how they respond today. But yeah, I think we're okay here. I would like to probably have to stay closer to the 30. I just want to get the sell-offs kind of out of the way.
Makes sense. No, I agree. All right. Let's kind of get into the roll call, our favorite part of the show. Let's see who's here on this Wednesday. We have 186 people in here, guys. For you guys that don't know, the first part of the show is the Ordinal Hour. The second part of the show is the Ordinal After Hour. In the Ordinal After Hour, we go over all your questions. So if you feel like I do not hit your questions here, don't worry. We will come back to every question. If you have questions, put them in the chat. If you have statements, put them in the chat. We're going to look at everything in the Ordinal After Hour after we cover all the Ordinal news. But first, let's get into see who's here first. So I did yesterday. I did star some who came in super early yesterday. This is like 146, but it was Tim AOD Art. Shout out to you, my friend. One of our mods. Kai Effect was there. PJNZ, Mr. Hanky, Yashir, as always. Appreciate you. Glasshopper and Danny Boy. So I'm just showing this is from yesterday, but Google didn't count that, or YouTube didn't count them in the roll call. So you don't get the first as first. My boy Danny gets the first as first today. So I don't know when they reset the chat. I'm not sure, but I can only go by what I'm seeing here. And Danny Boy wins today. So congratulations, Danny Boy. We appreciate you, my friend. Danny is also one of our mods, and he kills it for us, and we appreciate him every single day. He says very busy at work lately, but always watching and listening. Congratulations on 20K, 50 next, and 100. Hell yeah, bro. Yeah. Thank you, Danny. It's all because Danny was one of our early supporters, man. We appreciate him.
Yeah.
Sure, D-Love is here. She said, we are here again. 20K subs is a blast. Yep, congratulations. Thank you, D-Love. Appreciate you. Ordinal Sweets is here.
I love people.
That is a funny
I love that. I feel like that's the energy I get from him. Like whenever he's on Twitter timelines, he's so positive. Him or her. I'm sorry if you, but I love that.
Yeah, man. Yashir again. If you guys don't know Yashir, he puts all this amazing content in we have a news and developments Telegram. If you're interested in joining that, let me know. But Yashir is in there, and he kills it with stuff that really makes it to the banners, man. We appreciate him so much.
Yep.
I Walk Alone is here. He says, smash that like button and share to all your socials. 30K subs is the next goal. Let's get it. I love this guy. That's my guy right here.
Like, do you expect anything less from our community, man? Our community freaking rocks out, man, and shows up every day. So I love it.
These same people. We got Cache Cats in the building. We like to call him Coach K here. He says GM or Cash Cats. He says GM Coffee Donut. Tim Madden is here. We appreciate Tim, man. And then we have someone new. He said, Babu Amir says, present, sir. We appreciate it. It looks like your first time here. Well, me seeing you, you've probably been listening, but we appreciate you commenting, man, and participating in the roll call. We got Joko here. He says, hi, guys. We'll definitely get your question. You'll be one of the first questions answered, Joko, I promise. No is here. One of my favorites. No. He says, stay in the damn car. Yeah, man. Stay in the car.
Yeah, guys. I love that. That's the Chinese saying, right? Basically hodl.
Ant-Man is here. He says GMGA waiting for Tapisteria. Me too, buddy. We got John. John's in the building. What amazing post on Twitter the other day. We appreciate you, John. Thank you so much for always being here, buddy. Chief Axel is here. My boy E-Buck is in the building. Let's go. Cheedy is here. Reziak is here. Tim Baker, AOD Art. We appreciate you, my friend. Another one of our mods. I said you earlier in the start, but now just commenting.
Shizzy was practicing your name for 12 hours last night, Reziak.
I was
in the mirror. He was like Reziak. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep. And then it was going crazy. It was Ruzek. And I was like, what is going on? I gotta go to bed. But LSR is here. KDN is here. Pelpa is in the building. He says he or she has smashed that. Like, I think everyone here is a guy. I think there's a few girls here. I mean, so just gonna if I do say I'm wrong, please come correct in the chat and tell me that I'm wrong. Please correct us. Amir is here. I think is not your first time. I think I've seen you before, but GM, we appreciate you. Crypto Hot News is here. James ripping. He's ripping. He's just like that smash, like the smash button. I love it.
Smash the like button, like the smash, whichever way you like it.
GMG, it's Itatoshi is in the building. He says, remember when US senators banned WikiLeaks from taking USD, PayPay, and MasterCard in 2010, forcing them to take BTC? Bet they're thankful now. Hell yeah, I'm sure they are. Vaxzone is here. Chain Watchers in the building. He says, bottom me Thursday. Let's see. I mean, that'd be nice,
Could
right?
happen. Yeah, I mean, that'd be
Find a bottom
ideal.
there.
Well, I think ideal would be bottom today, but I can wait another day.
LSR is here. Are you exposed to any other ecosystems from BTC, especially if you've locked in any ETH? So now we're mainly I have some Polkadot stuff, but besides that, and it's very little to the comparison of what I have in Bitcoin. I don't think you have anything that's outside the ecosystem besides like
I mean, just
right?
some staked stuff like Alluvium and stuff like that. Nothing big.
Yep. Crypto hot news is here. Chain Watcher, Cheaty again, Hollywood, and then Itsutoshi. He said most girls LARPs, boys they don't want to
Boys.
be the only girl in the room. Oh, okay. That works. LARPs is boys. All right, let's do it. That's LARP, I guess. And that is the roll call, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined us. We have 200 people in here just a second ago. So thank every single one of you guys for participating in the roll call. And it means a lot to us. But let's get to the second portion of our show here.
Let's do it.
We got this one. Bank of Nakamoto is excited to work with Fluid XBT. Let's go. That is one of our partners. So go check those guys out on permissionless lending and trading with NUSD. So any other DEX, well, I can't really call them centralized because any other swap on Bitcoin is you basically need their permission to do the swap, right? It's not permissionless. Fluid is the only one that you set up a buy and a limit order, a buy and a sell limit order, and that takes the pair and use it in the swap, right? So you can take little pieces of it. So I mean, this is huge. I think Bank of Nakamoto is going to be a huge stablecoin. First is first, right? So even if they're not the best, they'll definitely still always be top five. So this is big for Fluid, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's big for Fluid, but it's big for Bank of Nakamoto because this is like their third or fourth partnership, I believe, or like integration. So I mean, I just hope that team is really looking at this as like a serious opportunity, right? Because there's other people, actually adopting this into their platforms, right?
Yep.
And so we'll see how this works out, right? Stable tokens are obviously scary in the beginning, just because you never know like how things can go. We're heading into a bull market, so that makes people probably feel more, assured. But at the same time, you got to keep up with it throughout the entire time, because a stable token should be created to last forever, right? Not just for a cycle. So, it seems like Jack and his team, have their heads on correctly for this. We'll see, and we'll see how these integrations go.
Yeah, and it's just awesome to have a stablecoin. You can get in and out of. We did see it depeg, but it depegs because people just wanted to get out of it quickly to hop into something that was, was running. And I think that's the reason why it depegged. Once you can start buying and selling in NUSD, like you can potentially do on Fluid, that's when NUSD is really going to really explode, and it's going to be really hard to depeg when that happens, especially in a bull run. Anything can happen.
And the more integrations and liquidity for the stable token, the better, because it's going to have more stability. Centralized exchanges will feel better about it too, and they might eventually add it, to whatever, if people want to change in and out of it. It's I think they have a big undertaking ahead of them, but they have things lined up.
Yeah, for sure.
Like having
jumping.
Marketing and stuff.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, Jack Lou is marketing, right? Jack Lou is one of the best marketers, and in my opinion. So he's just out there, he's grinding, and he's been on every podcast. I mean, every Ordinal podcast that will allow him. I mean, he's been on. So shout out to Jack Lou for sure. Moving on to the biggest story of yesterday: the TAP token launch postponed. Bump, bump, bump. Right? That's how I was feeling. How were you feeling when you heard this news? And we'll kind of get into what it is.
I'm okay with it. They're working with CoinList, so we already know that they have like a big partner. So I think that, if they're waiting for better market conditions, then you can't really be upset about that. But I hope they don't postpone the other things that they've had planned for, right? So one of them is a market marketplace. And I think that's very needed. And you can release that before the token. You don't need a token for that. And but the other tokens need that. You know what I mean? The other participants need that. And so I just hope that they stay on track with that, which should be
100%.
here in the next couple days.
Yep. And they did post this amazing picture. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a picture, but it definitely got me bullish on the marketplace. I can share my screen right here. Yeah, so this is the Tap marketplace. It looks pretty cool. This stuff's really blurred out because I think it's all testnet. It's these, I've never seen these tokens before, but it's really cool. As you can see, trending, and then you can see what the mint. So I love this dashboard. I really love it. I love how it is from the Tap protocol team. So you might have some marketplaces that are not from them, but this one is from them, and this is pretty big.
Yeah, I think that makes a huge difference, right? In terms of mass adoption. I'm not saying any other exchanges won't do well, but having the Tap team build out the Tap marketplace, the first one that's dedicated solely to Tap, I think that's huge. And so I expect like a smooth and seamless experience using it because of that as well. They have their brand is behind it. So I think it's really big. I think it's actually big for the Tap token too, because now people that want to trade the Tap token in the future can say, they have an exchange that's the marketplace is their main thing. And so they have a product behind it.
100%. I get into the article a little bit. The article's long. I will I can leave a link in the show notes after this is done, for the people that go bot later. But I'll just actually show it now. We'll kind of go through it a little step by step. All right, so it says update for June 2024. The past few weeks we have filled with a lot of exciting events for the TTP protocol. We are excited to have the community updated for several activities that went on these last 3 weeks. So they do mention the partnership with ICP, the Tap Reader. So basically the Tap Reader testnet version was released in the track GitHub on June 6th, went live on the 10th of June. The Tap Reader testnet mainly provides centralized access to the index Tap protocol data. So this went live last week. Do you know what this is?
I think it's for builders. Okay. It's basically an open source indexing, not for people to probably change, but for them to utilize for maybe their projects or whatever they're building, in the app ecosystem, right? So they can just look to that indexer instead of trying to create their own. But I think they're going through a little bit of kind of beta version of it, right? So people are reporting bugs and stuff, but for the most part, it seems like it's been pretty smooth from the message that I've seen. So.
Okay, so the ecosystem validator pool on June 17th, the ecosystem validator pool was reopened to give the opportunity to more users who missed out on the first opening. So if you don't know what that is, that was something they did. So with the validator pool, this is going to be potentially put up against that. So you will get all type of rewards and stuff for participating in that spooky token, which is the L2 we know for Ghosty. So there's a bunch of other ones, Launchpunk, Foxy, a bunch of them are participating in that, and also you'll get a tap. I think it's like 15% yield on that as well. So there's a lot coming to doing that. So that happened last week, and I got to the $1 million goal, right?
Yeah. That could be really, really big, right? So you had to put up your track to be able to, receive these benefits. And it was a pool because some people might not have enough track for individual ownership of validators. But yeah, so that part is done. And then they have the validator licensing program, which I think you're going to go over here.
Yep. So what that is too, so the validator license, there's in this other article, it says it right here. So round 1 is going to be 300 track, round 2 is 500 track, 700 track, and so on, up to 10,000. And I think the rounds get sold out quickly, but that gets put into this thing. But that was originally the 31st.
Can you go back to that real quick?
Yeah, sure. That was originally the 31st, but now it's July 7th, so it's just getting pushed back a little bit. But yeah, jump back
a week. Yeah. So you can see there if you scroll up a little bit, there you go. Leave it right there. It says the sale will be conducted in 10 batches of 300 validators with a maximum of 50 validators per address. So that's where there can be a ton of track utilized to purchase, right? One person gets 50, you're looking at 15,000 track for 50 validators, right?
Yeah.
So, I think there's a lot of people that probably hold 5 to 15,000 track or more, right? So
Yeah.
this could be bought up like very quickly and aggressively, because you're going to be earning the tap token from having the validators there. So it's going to be interesting. And then they own the validators, and then they can sell the validators in the future. So yeah, I think this could be really, really big for the track token.
What would be your guesstimate on how much track gets locked up? Right now, we got about 5% of the supply locked up in the first validator, which is the track public one. What do you think? Like, if you had to take a wild guess, how much track gets locked up? Are we 10%, 20%, 30%?
Man, I think like if you can hit 20%, I think that's a big win.
Yeah,
Because anything more than that is very, very dramatic, right?
that'd
Like,
be 4 million, almost 5 million track locked up.
yeah. So I think that's probably a good goal to reach for. If they do anything more than that, then that's a big success for them, as well
Yeah.
as I think that's a lot of track. But yeah, I don't know. I would say 20% is the goal, and I say they hit 15%.
Yeah, 100%. So what happens with that track that gets locked up, right? So
Yeah.
we heard some FUD that they can sell it and stuff like that, but then also down here in this article, it does say I can't find it right now. Of course, I can't find it. But in the article, okay, here it is. Track receipts from the sale of the validator program will be used to build company treasury and different things such as sex liquidity in the future, strengthen reward systems, governance, rewards, etc. So with Tap, there when you do a tokenomics, when you do a sale like that, you already structured 10 to 15% to go to sexes, right? Sexes are very expensive to get on Coinbase. Is a lot of money. We know that Binance. We actually heard of this today that they have a line of people waiting to give Binance free tokens to list their coin. A lot of them too. So a huge line. So Track, I was thinking about that. Track doesn't have that. Track doesn't have any track that they're able to give up. Track was a free and fair mint. I'm sure
Yeah.
Benny minted, what he could, but back then I don't think he had a lot of liquidity to do a lot. So and you could see that by a few months ago, the track was only a few people had a lot, right? So I don't think that was one of Benny's. So they don't really have a lot of track. So this is a way to get that track, to be able to give it to Binance, to be able to for their LP, their pools and stuff like that. So what do you think? Is this bad for track that they potentially maybe have 4 million track locked up and they're able to, I mean, they can do whatever they want to. They can dump it on the market if they wanted to.
Yeah. So that's what made me worried about it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a track holder, to be transparent, and so I thought a lot, long and hard about this, and I'm thinking about it from like the team's perspective as well as whatever investors they have, right? Because they have investors, right? So in their mind, they're probably like, okay, so they want some skin in the game too, right? So how can they do it without like actually utilizing like the investment funds that they were going to invest into the team to buy track, to kind of have skin in the game? And I think the validator route was their option, right? It was basically like, okay, look, and then I think the track team with Benny and his team were like, we can't forget about track. Track is our brand. If track doesn't succeed, then it's going to be really hard to really get through a lot of that anger and FUD from the community and have Tap's ecosystem succeed as well. And so I think that to make every party kind of like happy with the situation, I think this validator program adds the treasury, which can give the track amounts to the centralized exchanges for listing, as well as have some skin in the game for the team and the investors as well. That's what I'm thinking. Now, worst case scenario, yes, it's just they dump the track token because they don't want to dump the tap token, but I don't see that happening. I think that's a huge mistake if they do that. Nevertheless, I think that everybody should not be married to their bags and make the best decision for themselves. as we're going up into this bull market, right? So that's just kind of how I'm looking at it, the situation.
Yeah. But let's just say they get listed on, MEXC, track gets listed on Binance, track gets listed on OKX, on Coinbase. You're gonna need a lot of track to give to these sexes to get in, right? And Scree Labs has a lot of a lot of backing. That, I mean, you can obviously see that with the coin list listing of Tap. So they know people around the space, so they could definitely potentially get it on places like Binance and OKX for sure. Maybe not Coinbase. Coinbase is the big one, but you could definitely see it track BTC on Coinbase because they already have a track token, which is I forget what it's called, or Origin Trail or something, Origin Trail. But you could definitely see something like that in the future. But you're going to need millions of track to do that. So I'm just hoping that they can utilize this track and not. I kind of wish they wouldn't have put it in there, strength and rewards and stuff like that. I just kind of hope they say we're saving that for sex listens only. It will not be dropped on any market. I just wish Benny would come out and kind of just say, hey, we're not going to dump this. If anything, we're going to give it to the exchanges. But
yeah, I mean, that's the best case scenario, right? Is if that happens. Yeah. Regardless, I think the team is not, going to do all this with the validators and everything just to dump the token. Obviously, they want to benefit from the token rising in price as well, which, that's why I think everybody's probably, and this is just my opinion, which could be completely wrong, so don't take it as gospel, but everybody could benefit from the beginning of the bull market, like, right, that first big leg, Bitcoin gets to 85,000, 100,000. I think track benefits from that as well. So it could go from, where is it right now, $1.40 to $8, $10 really quick, right? And so for me, I'm not going to be overly greedy in that situation. I'm going to protect myself, and I'm going to take profits probably around that time period, personally.
Do you think July 7th, do you think track goes on a run price wise? Will people just not being like, oh crap, I don't have enough for this? Like they're getting bought up too quickly. I'm not ready for it. Do you think July 7th could be a good time for track to maybe, I don't know, double, get back to that $2.20 range, $2.80
I think it
range?
could be. Yeah, it could be, especially if these validators are starting to pop off and they're just selling out fast, right? 50 validators per address is a lot, dude. So the volume here could go crazy. It could really push track's price up, depending on the demand for the validators. The biggest thing for me is that marketplace, and that marketplace with the Tap team behind it. If that's pushed up, people are going to want that Tap token for sure, right? Because what can that marketplace turn into eventually down the line when the technology gets to where it needs to be, whatever they're building with promises? That marketplace could be a decentralized exchange, right? Yeah. So imagine getting like floor for a token for like Unisat or Uniswap or Pancake Swap or something, right? So I think that's where the opportunity lies in a lot of people's minds.
100%. All right, moving on here because we are getting kind of closer. We do have so much more to get into. So Surf Protocol just hit 1 billion trading volume.
That's crazy.
Insane, dude. And users who experience liquidations will get an additional reward in the terms of Merle. So if you did go long on Merle, Jeff is repaying. I don't know if he's giving you your total loss, probably not, but he's giving you some reward for getting liquidated. So it's kind of like it's almost risk free at this point with Jeff and Surf. So it's amazing. And then you get, if you do, the fees are high, but you're able to claim 100% of your fees at the bottom. If you haven't claimed in a while, go claim your gas and stuff like that.
It's not all the fees, but it's
not all the fees, but
if you trade a lot.
Definitely. I've gotten back hundreds of dollars from that, so that's definitely a win. What do you think? What do you think this is? How big do you think Surf can actually get?
Oh, I think it could be huge. I'm waiting for their TGE announcement. I'm trying to get as many points as I can because I think they've come out and said that points are going to be a part of an airdrop of their token, I believe. Right. They're going to be on a Spaces early tomorrow morning with some other Merlin builders. I'm not sure if Ordinal Hive and VDEX will make that because it's super, super early, but I think they're going to try. But I think it's going to be 8 a.m. Eastern. So look out for that Spaces, and you can hear, Tony from Surf talk about it and kind of ask questions about their system and all that stuff. But yeah, I think they're going to be a huge player there. I mean, $1 billion in volume, that's huge.
Yeah. And this is the message from Jeff. He says, in the event of liquidation during trades due to long positions in Merle on Surf, I will provide an additional 100,000 Merle to those affected. These tokens can be claimed later on Surf. So again, Jeff is just leading the pack there, man.
Yeah, so that's going to be split amongst everybody that I guess got liquidated longing Merle. So, you know, depending on how many people are doing that, that could be nice, especially with whatever Surf is doing on top of that.
Yep, I agree. This is Ordinal low fee alert. Bitcoin network fees are only 8 sats per VByte, and this might have been last night, but he said right now, which is causing blocks to fill up with uncommon goods. Cheap sats equal the minting of uncommon goods. This is something that Casey thought of, and it's actually genius. You know, so what do you think about, you know, low fee uncommon goods? Do you think this is a good mint?
Yeah, I do. It's number 0, right? So it's the very first rune, right? But I think it's like one of those slow plays that no one pays attention to, sort of like sats, where people will start to talk more and more about it as we get close to I think there's a 4-hour period or 4-year period to where the last block. So I mean, this could last a long time, but maybe he's trying to prove a point of like having patience in something, you know, because 4 years is crazy. You know,
4 more years, pause. But yeah.
So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, man. I won't be buying. I'm going to be buying uncommon goods in the bear market in about 26 to 30 months from now. That's when I'm going to be buying it. So I don't know if it gets cheaper than it is today, but we will see. This could go to, you know, 10, 20 bucks in a bull market, and then, you know, falter back because you are able to constantly mint this, and new coins are coming in the market every block. So definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah,
this is a fun one here on this next one. Nashville Hot Chicken, quick service restaurant franchise established in 2018. Nashville style chicken tenders, sandwiches, and wings. Proud supporters of the Dog Army Bitcoin. You can pay in dog and get a chicken sandwich. Absolutely insane to be Runes right now. Yeah. Well, I don't. This is their bio. This is, if you go to their Nashville Hot Chicken, this is exactly what their bio says. I copied and pasted.
Well, I think they don't have a huge following, right? I think when I checked, it was like 3,000. Yeah, let's see. Nashville Hot Chicken. No, 795 actually. But
what the hell? That's okay.
They're tiny. But it might be a newer chain, and they're just trying to get that Twitter account established, possibly. But yeah, I think I saw this last cycle with certain tokens, right? Where people are like, we'll accept this token, we'll accept that token. So for me, this is just kind of a part of the whole like community that wants to chip in, you know, and I'm sure the owner of Nashville Hot Chicken probably bought some dog. They have, you know, probably money to be able to be in Bitcoin, and they've researched the Bitcoin ecosystem. And so now they're just trying to do their part, which is cool. Yeah, that's cool. You said you searched them. There was a couple around you, right?
Yeah, there's one that just popped up. You
should try to buy something with dog. You should go up there.
I'm gonna go in there. Like, can I use my dog? They're gonna look at me like, get the hell out of here. So I don't know.
Like, I'm Leonidas. Don't talk to me like that.
That'd be hilarious if I walk in and the guy's like, Shizzy? Like, hey, no, I'm playing. But that would be amazing.
They're like, your dog is no good here, sir.
Free chicken sandwiches for life. But this is something good here too. So Chartfu, shout out to Chartfu, man. If you don't know who he is, he needs to be followed. Magic Eden is top notch, amazing, absolutely killing it. We're gonna be writing an article on them as well, using some data points from their they're letting us see, which is amazing. So shout out to Chartfu, shout out to Magic Eden. But they say big thing here, split your runes as soon as you buy them. Now live on Magic Eden. So this is something they're putting in. How big do you think this is? Because I heard people say like, oh, splitting your runes is kind of like the transcription. They're actually even making it easier now.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a better user experience because people just will get it out of the way as they're buying them, right? This is another thing, man. Like they're just looking for pain points and they're trying to find solutions to every pain point that people have. Obviously, the biggest pain point is no liquidity pools, but that's not anything that they can do about it yet, right? So they're trying to find every other thing, and they're doing a damn good job with it.
100%.
So.
Yep. So I'm trying to bring up this next thing here. But how many people we got here?
We got 240 people in here, so appreciate each and every one of you guys showing up still, even when Bitcoin is not fun to look at the price.
Not fun to look at. So I'm just trying to grab this chart of the holders. Where is it?
I'm going to start starring the questions here so we have that ready. We got about 5 minutes left before the Ordinal After Hour to where we get into y'all's questions and comments. So please put those in the chat and we will get to those. That's our, most fun part of the show, interacting with y'all.
I cannot find that thing now. With the here it is. I got it. Sorry, guys. Jumping on it now. So, all right, got it here. So I want to take a look at this really quickly. I found this very interesting. This is the top 10 runes based on holder count. So we got Rune X Bitcoin at 104,000. This is the one that's on Merlin, correct?
Runes yes. X? Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Runes X. I think that's the biggest holder count. Yeah.
104,000. Followed by Arctic Genesis Rune at 81,000. Dog Go to the Moon at 72,000. Uncommon Goods at 61,000 holders. Lobo the Wolf Pup at 58,000, which is shocking to me that was so much higher. I know they did their airdrop and everything, but for some reason I didn't think it was in the top like 5 or 6. So shout out to Lobo the Wolf Pup, man. A lot of holders. Gob at 43,000 holders. Decentralized at 42,000 holders. Cook the Mempool at 28,000 holders, followed by Greed Fragments. This is we think this is the Magisat token sitting at 24,000 holders, and then Satoshi Nakamoto at 17,000 holders. What do you think about this?
Yeah, it's just it's a way to get a lot of support, is to get as many holders as possible. Airdrops are obviously the way to go with that, or claims, and we'll see how this plays out like in the bull market, right? Because this has been a consistent strategy with fungible tokens on Bitcoin. Everybody started to look at like the holder counts. Remember in late last summer with rats and early fall with rats and sats and all these things, and people were saying the more holder count the better, and for the most part that's true, but there were definitely some cases that it didn't work out as well. So we'll see which of these top 10 holder counts become successful and which fall off. There's a couple that stick out to me. I think Satoshi Nakamoto being like one of the first ones, I think that one's going to succeed, man. Obviously there's a 20% pre-mine, so that might cap its success, but we'll see where that goes. But then you got Cook the Mempool, which is solid. Lobo the Wolf Pup is part of Dog Go to the Moon. So a lot of these have strong.
All right, we'll jump on to the next thing here. All right, so Dog is number 1 on Gate.io by volume yesterday. What do you think about that? They do have a graphic for that. Let me see if I can find it from Leonidas. So there it is right here.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's huge. That's huge.
So number 1 in volume yesterday, $28 million.
Yeah, it beat Dog with Hat by 1 million, which is I think that's a big accomplishment because Dog with Hat is huge in terms of market cap, and I think it's still trying to chase it down in total market cap, right? Because Dog with Hat is bigger right now.
Yeah, Dog with Hat's around 3 billion. So Dog would need do about a 6x just to get anywhere near Dog with Hat. But Dog with Hat has been running this entire year, right? So it definitely has a huge head start on Dog. And it's a Solana coin. There's a lot more users on Solana than there is on Bitcoin for now. Obviously there's more liquidity here, but over there's more degens who got into this super early, who have diamond hands and they're holding it. So we will see. But dude, $28 million, number 1. It beat Floki, it beat Doge, it beat Shiba. Insane. It beat Doge yesterday.
Yeah. It's really weird because I feel like the Bitcoin layer one fungible tokens that are going to be really popular heading into the bull market, because we have the limitations of Bitcoin, so we don't have liquidity pools and dexes on Bitcoin's native layer. I think the ones that become really successful take the Doge route, right? So they end up getting picked up by large centralized exchanges, and then those start to run them up. So like you got you've seen evidence of that already, because the volume on chain is low. It's happening all on centralized exchanges. And I think that's something that can happen with Dog. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually probably a really solid like trajectory for Dog, or at least the big winners, the ones that get picked up by them, because they create their own destiny through the centralized exchanges. So I think that's going to be really, really big.
Yep. All right, real quick before we get into Traverse Wednesdays, could we just see my boy Abdul jumping in here? But real quick, Leonidas says, dog volume speaks for itself. Any sector that ignores the fungible token standard on chain with 1.3 trillion of liquidity will not be in business for very long. So, I mean, if you got to see, Binance looking over at Dog and just being like, oh, wow, they beat Doge yesterday. So you could see a listing, man. You could see it listing in July for sure.
Yeah, you could see one in July. I think it's going to be the pressure that gets added to demand, right? So, we've learned that large exchanges like Binance, they want large supplies of the token, for free.
Yeah.
And so that supports them in terms of listing it and then being able to like kind of pump it in a sense, right? And so that just can't happen with tokens like Dog, which is airdrop free and fair and all that, whatever you want to call it. And so it takes, it's going to take a little bit longer, in my opinion, for that to happen, 100%. But once they get to the point where they can't ignore it anymore, it'll happen, and it will probably explode. It'll explode for the Rune's ecosystem.
Yeah. What do you think a top is for Dog this cycle?
For Dog this cycle?
Yeah.
If I were to put a bet on it right now, I'd say 4 billion.
That's only where Dogwood hat is now, though.
Yeah, but we don't have the same.
8x.
You have to understand like what a liquidity pool does and a straight up decentralized exchange does for tokens. It's the instantaneous gratification. Like it pleases the people that want that instant gratification, right? Yeah. So they want to see number go up quick, and then whenever they see number go up quick, then they say, oh, I don't want to miss that, right? So they actually, it does an opposite thing to where they hold more than they do over in these type of environments where people don't see it quick, and they're like, I don't really see it moving that fast, and I don't want to wait forever. I'm gonna list my blah blah blah. And because of that, like it's going to get hard for like these Bitcoin layer 1 tokens to shoot up like fast. Now, if they're on centralized exchanges, like I said, they take on like their own path and they're, wherever they end up. So they can help. But I think, until we have that like on native Bitcoin or Merlin chain assist, because I do think that happens. I think Merlin chain gets a lot of these LPs and the liquidity that they're creating this big foundation for Bitcoin layer 1 fungible assets over there that can assist now. So that's something that can help it propel. So yeah, 4 billion is a conservative, I think, for my guess. But what about you? What do you think?
I think it can hit 50 billion. I think it can hit anywhere. I do. I really do. I think it hit 50 billion. I'm thinking Bitcoin hit 700K. So for me to tell you that, I think we're going to have, 18 to 20 months of bull market. So I think Dog is going to be, there's big YouTubers now that are talking about it. YouTubers that with hundreds of thousands of, of followers. So, I think it could be big. I think this could 100x.
Let me ask you this. If we had liquidity pools and actual dexes that are like Solana and Ethereum, what would Dog's all-time high be right now?
So, but that's the thing though, is we're hearing people basically being like, they're saying that Dog is going to be on every chain. Right?
We are hearing that are like doing the
so
plans.
It's going to be, the Dog's going to be multi-chain, but its home being Bitcoin, right? So
I know, but go back to my question real quick though, because here's the thing: is that you're saying that like all these influencers are talking about, which they are, but when they talk about dog, like they were talking about dog with hat or other, we're already past a billion probably, you know, like when Pepe blew up, right? So
Yeah.
I think that it does, if that plan works out with like setting the foundation with liquidity on like with these Bitcoin fungible layer 1 tokens and making them interoperable and cross chain, that's a different story. And I think that will do very, very well for these assets over here, but we're not there yet. We haven't seen it, but you know, 50 billion, I just, that's really, really tough, but hey, I'm here for it if it happens.
Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing Bitcoin at, you know, an $8 trillion, $9 trillion market cap, 10 trillion. I think it beats gold, you know, and I think eventually. So I'm just saying, yeah. I mean, that's how you get 700K. You're up at 9, 10 trillion. And that's why I get 700K, because that's gold's market cap right now. So I think gold gets to like 15, 16 this cycle, but I think Bitcoin gets to that 11, 12, and it sets it up to take it over next cycle for sure. So, and if that happens, I mean, $8 trillion in liquidity, dog being, you know, a leverage play on Bitcoin, it can easily get to, in my opinion, 50 billion. So
yeah,
we'll see. Only time will tell. But guys, today is Security Wednesdays. So if you guys, let me get rid of this banner. So if you guys don't know what Traverse is, you need to learn, because Traverse is the leading security platform here in Bitcoin. Let's just say you have, I don't know, 10 million dog, and you just don't feel comfortable in your hot wallet. Eventually down the line, you're going to be able to put that into Traverse and lock it in there. But right now, you can do many different ordinal collections. Let's say you have no monkeys, or you have frogs, or you have bitmaps, and you just have a lot of them, and you just don't feel safe in a hot wallet. You're pushing too many buttons. A lot of our community members were already, you know, got a lot of stuff stolen. So Traverse is a way to lock that in there safely. And what happens is it's non-custodian. So basically, it's a vault that the only way to send out is you need a QR code from your Google authenticator, and you will need an email. So you get an email code. You get 6 digits. You'll pop that in. You'll go to your Google authenticator. You'll pop that in, and then you'll finally be able to hit send on your wallet, and you will send that out. A lot of people are always worried about sending stuff out, so we're going to do that today. But without further ado, let's bring in Abdul. What's up, Abdul?
What's up, guys? Thank you so much for having me. Fascinating conversation about the dog and possible liquidity prices. Pretty impressive stuff.
What do you think? 50 billion?
I'm not sure about the 50 billion. Like, I like to take more of a, you know, a realistic perspective. And if it does,
got him. No,
I didn't mean it as a jab. I just think like, if you take a look at most on-chain activity right now, most of it is, especially like the DeFi, is on EVM chains, right? It's EVM compatible, and that's because most of the developers are on there. So they're on Ethereum, they're developing on EVM chains. If we do see dog be multi-chain, and if we do see, for example, like dog on ETH, dog on some multi-chain environments, and then the developers build there to keep increasing liquidity, then I think like, you know, maybe 50 billion in a few years maybe isn't that unrealistic.
Dog on Spooky, that would be pretty big, right?
Yeah. Ghosty supports dog, I believe, for swaps. Right now as well.
That's what I'm saying. So that's another thing too. Like you can put dog anywhere, and imagine dog on base. You know, it says dog Bitcoin right on base, and you're able to buy it there, or even Solana, dog on Solana. Like I just feel like it's just gonna have that that Doge feel this cycle. And I'm probably out there. I'm a huge holder of dog, so anyone watching and listening, just know that for sure. But the reason I have so much because I'm bullish on it. So. But yeah, it's fun to talk about. You know, it could. I mean, sometimes stuff surprises you, and sometimes it might surprise me the other way as well. When I'm sitting here like, damn, I don't hit 5 billion, but we'll see.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. What do you want to get into today? You want to run through the?
Yeah. So I think we were going to go through a couple things. Do you have everything set up for the transfer? So we were going to show how to transfer an OG pass out of a vault, and then possibly how to put something else into a vault very, you know, easily. And so we'll go over that. But while Shizzy's getting that ready, any updates from your end that you can go over for like Traverse, the Tap ecosystem? Obviously, a lot of news for Tap's ecosystem.
Yeah, so I just got a message that the indexer right now for Traverse is currently under maintenance. It's still under maintenance, so it has been for approximately an hour and a half.
Okay.
And really, what that does is that it affects the front end of Traverse. So that way, you're unable to temporarily view what assets are there. And the main reason for that is because the indexer is best in slot, and it looks like it's undergoing maintenance right now.
Gotcha.
But so you're always able to confirm your holdings if you go into your vault. Your vault has a unique taproot address. Just plug that into GNI data or the mempool, or you can plug it in, for example, on Legacy Track to check your tap holdings. You'll always see your assets are there. So just temporarily until the indexer is running. But we do have plans to have multiple backup indexers as well. So it could be GNI, it could be best in slot. Maybe we could use GNI data. We'll use other APIs as well to make sure that if one of them does go down for maintenance, then the others will be accessible for you guys as well. So that is something that is being worked on. And yeah, I apologize if that does kind of disrupt some of the conversation here, but I still do think we can check out the Learn tab. Traverse has a bunch of videos there, so we can run through one of the asset withdrawals or asset withdrawal ones. I think like before that, if you guys want to get into, just a hot topic that I've been seeing in the timeline, which is the tap delay.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the tap delay with the tokens?
I'll let you go first, Shizzy.
Yeah, so my initial reaction was, oh man, but then I started thinking, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't the right environment for this. If Tap gets launched today, they're going to dump their airdrop for liquidity. I think everyone wants to be very liquid right now. You're not really knowing what's going on. There's some issues, outside of Florida right now with some Russian stuff that kind of has people on edge as well. So maybe this isn't the right time to do that. I think later this summer is probably the best bet. Sell in May, go away usually puts people back after July 4th. So you could definitely see something, some liquidity really kind of pushing after July 4th. So I think it's the necessary option. It's definitely a VC backed project, because that is a VC call for sure. I'm sure Benny wants to do his thing there. So it's one of those things where it's the necessary evil of this business. You definitely want to put things out in a hot market, and that's not to pump the token. It's really to just make sure that you're doing your holders justice. You're doing what's right for the best for your holders.
Just on the point of VCs dictating what happens behind the scenes. So we know TAP is a VC-backed project. It has really a number of incredible backers. But the thing is, like, I would personally disagree. So my background is in finance. Okay, I understand the VC business. I understand how they think, and I can tell you that this is not a VC play, because VCs are going to be vested. So VCs aren't able to, for example, at TGE launch, when people receive their airdrops, to actually sell at market. They're not able to do that, and the main reason for that is because most of these guys are vested for months. So you're talking about a period of 7+ months, if not years as well, vested for their full holdings. So if anything, VCs wanted to be released earlier, so they can actually get access to their tokens once the vesting is complete at an earlier date. So I would just respectfully disagree on the VC side. But it's not even that. Like, at the end of the day, if you take a look at how VCs operate, and in general how Wall Street operates, so most of the inflows right now you're seeing, when it goes to Bitcoin, when it goes to Ethereum, and possibly even an ETF for Solana and Ethereum down the line as well, those will impact the individual prices of these tokens. Because we aren't seeing on-chain activity that reflects the current high prices of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the other chains as well, right? If you take a look at the mempool, what's that fee we're sitting at right now, the network fee? It's probably around like 12
23
or something.
No, it
23?
popped up. Yeah, it popped up.
Well,
It
it's
popped up.
popped up because there's some really long blocks, but yeah.
Yeah, you like the point here that I'm trying to make is that the on-chain activity, especially when we're taking a look at ordinals, we're taking a look at some of these token prices. Yeah, okay, they are relatively high, probably higher than a year ago, because some of these projects don't even exist a year ago. But the point still stands that there's not enough on-chain activity that is reflective of retail being there and retail that could actually be hyped regarding TAP's release. And that's the main problem that I am personally saying. So I'm not speaking for the track team. I'm not speaking for the TTP community. I'm just speaking my own opinion here. And even though, like, yeah, people say, okay, Bitcoin is at 61, right? 61, it's way higher than it was December 2022. It was like 15, 17K. But the thing is, like, that doesn't matter. The dump from Bitcoin from 71 to 61 is still going to have an impact on altcoins. It's still going to have an impact on ordinals multiple times higher than what it impacted the Bitcoin price itself, right? And this is just something that people over time will come to understand. And you can see it with on-chain activity.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I didn't mean that in the sense of like VCs kind of like dictating what's going on. I just meant it in the fact that VCs are very smart, right? They're very experienced. This isn't their first rodeo. You know, Benny's focused on developing and stuff like that. So when I said it is a VC call, is because they know that in a hot market, like something like ICP, you know, it wasn't the right market, and it just came out too high and it just dumped, right? So I just feel like they're very experienced and they're really advising in the right direction. I didn't mean anything negative when I said VC backed play. So
well, another thing too is I think that first of all, people have to realize not all VCs are made equal or created equal, right? I feel like because when I can kind of understand where Abdul came from when he heard that, because like when you say VC call or VC this, it's there's a negative connotation to that, right? And it's because, like, I mean,
element of research.
Let's be transparent. VCs are here to make money, obviously. Like that's what all businesses are in the space for. But I do think that not all VCs are created equal, and you got to really do your research on your VCs and stuff like that. So that I'll leave it at that from my perspective on it. But I think that regardless how you feel about VCs or not, you know, it's probably also CoinList advising too and saying, hey, the market conditions and all these things, you know, so it won't be much longer, I don't think, you know, because I think that, you know, we'll go through this period of, you know, not the most fun times, but I don't think it's going to last too long. Just looking at the, you know, mid to longer term charts, we've been through longer bearish times, aka 2023.
In the Tracks Discord, I was just there because there was also like a developers office hours going on where, you know, they're presenting some teams. I did see that the team mentioned that they're still expecting the release of the token to be in the summer. And not only that, they were expecting it to be July. Even then it's, you know, July is in a few days, right? It starts in a few days. So even the pushback isn't that significant anyways to warrant a change of the development that has happened for a year. So they're just trying to make sure that, in my opinion, just everything is focused on on-chain activity, and that there's a lot more eyes that could possibly be looking at viewing some projects like TAP, because liquidity is key right now. And just like Shizzy said, I mean, many people are just not sure about the environment. They probably want to keep some cash or most liquid assets on the side and not venture into altcoins or, you know, Ordinals protocols like TAP, which are relatively new.
Yeah, exactly. So we are hearing the TAP and track the track validator sale is pushed back to the 7th. The TAP tokens potentially in July. What does that say for the marketplace that we saw yesterday in Discord? Do you think that potentially still is on track or do you think that gets pushed back as well?
Yeah, I do believe, my understanding from the article, my understanding from briefly talking with the TAP team is that the marketplace will be coming, and it's still within, you know, their launch is rather imminent, let's say. That's my understanding of it. So it might come this week.
Yeah.
And will it be a soft launch, or do you think they're going to go right after it? Sorry, Yago.
You're good.
Yeah, I think they would go right at it if my understanding is correct.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that I think also that release of the marketplace can calm any other, you know, nerve or whatever of the token launch. So, you know, I'm excited mostly about that because I feel like that's more of an ecosystem morale boost than anything. And that's the right way to kick off the ecosystem, is kind of highlight the other projects and tokens that exist. And now you can go to this place and research and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that big time.
Yeah, Traverse will be there. I mean, we are the first mover from BRC20 to tap, right, as a token, and
Yeah.
we are quite big believers in the tap ecosystem and the promises update in particular, and what it will bring for more on-chain activity in the Bitcoin space and ordinal space at large. So one thing to note is that Traverse is again a utility token, and it does play a central role within our ecosystem where it will be used to reduce all fees incurred across our platform, including our partner decks and our partner marketplace fees as well. So the token itself will not only play a utility within the Traverse ecosystem, but within partner ecosystems as well. And that's just something we wanted to highlight here. We're also working on, for the token specifically, we're quite heavy into the DMT ecosystem, I want to say. So we've been getting whitelist for our Traverse holders across pretty much all the projects that are being released in DMT. So we already announced DMT Tickabit, and we already got whitelist for BTC Substance, Vessels collection. There's also going to be whitelist for DMT Ninjas, DMT Snow, DMT Natamons. So any really collection that's being released on Mscribe and working with DMT, you can expect Traverse holders to benefit from the utility there as well in the form of whitelist.
Gotcha.
Amazing.
So if I, because I know that you guys have some thresholds for that, right? And I believe it's 150,000 Traverse tokens is the threshold to get into that possible whitelisted scenario. So if I have 155,000 Traverse tokens, I would need to go to the Discord, submit my address that is holding those tokens to the spreadsheet for the whitelist, and then you guys would do a raffle based off of that, and then select the winners of the whitelist. Or did I get anything wrong there?
No, you got it completely right. So what we're doing is we're trying to reward the most active community members in our Telegram and Discord. And by active, I mean those who actually interact with our posts, see our messages. And what we're doing there is that we have a form that you're able to submit, and you should input your wallet address. We will take a video of us actually checking that each wallet address is valid, so it's eligible. And by eligible, that's the only requirement, is having that 150K in Traverse tokens or even higher. We just check that's valid. We take a video of us plugging them into a randomizer, and we pick the winners based on the number of whitelist spots that were provided to us by the DMT projects and teams. So today that's going to happen for BTC Substance, Vessels. You can expect a video from us actually picking the winners, because we want to make sure, again, everything's free and fair, and just like dog to the moon. And we believe in like transparency, so we want to make sure that it's recorded and you guys can see it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And so this is something that's new, I believe, newer at least. And so I don't know how many people know about it yet, but you might want to run over there and start adding your address into the spreadsheet to get qualified for those DMT whitelists, because there's some really crazy new projects that are being released like almost every other day. One of them is the Tickabot, right? Isn't it called Tickabot?
Tickabit.
And
Yeah,
Tickabit. And I believe you can add that to like an Apple Watch or some sort of digital watch face. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. It is like a watch face, exactly. And not only that, they're actually working on, I believe it's called the parent-child inscriptions, where you would actually, for example, be able to view or have the face of DMT projects. Yeah, like a Natcat, the Royal, or other DMT projects within that Tickabit itself as well, which is really impressive. I mean, it is kind of like what the Karma card never became, because the promise of the Karma card was a digital advertisement where you have your project. In their case, it was mainly about OCM directly into that card as well. So Tickabit is working towards that vision. One other like DMT project I really want to highlight for you guys and anyone who's listening is Natamons. Natamons is really impressive. In my opinion, it's the most unique application of DMT that exists. And the main reason for that is because you're able to select rarities, the card's power itself, and everything about the cards that is being released is really based on DMT and Bitcoin block attributes, which is really true to the core of the DMT project itself.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing about DMT is like, there's a programmability to this like meta protocol that is awesome, right? Because we don't have smart contracts over here. So this is like one of those, parts of the tap ecosystem that is, programmed in terms of like their projects, right? So it's really, really cool. I can't wait to see like more and more unique projects come out, because I think sky's kind of the limit with this, like your creativity, right? You're using non-arbitrary data, and what you do with it is up to you, and how you make it reflect into a wallet, a face of an iPhone watch or whatever is going to be awesome to see.
100%. Well, does Tap Marketplace will it have some of the DMT stuff as well? Do you know?
I believe so. Yes.
Awesome. Even better.
I think if you leave that out, you're going to be behind. If you leave that out in your Tap Marketplace, you're going to be behind.
I think DMT stuff, it needs a marketplace like that. That would actually be huge. I'm sure Benny's working with the Block Runner guys to get that done as well. So I can't see that not happening. That's huge. I'm excited for that. And I was thinking too, I was like, if the marketplace launched before the Tap token, that's actually really good for projects like Ghosty, Traverse, the DMT stuff, DMT NAD, Gib, Benny, all those other tokens. That's actually really good for those tokens, because you kind of move without the big guy until Daddy gets home, which is the Tap token, and then it kind of and I'm hoping they get like W track over there as well. That would be huge for the marketplace as well. I think the rap track would be absolutely insane for that.
Is that coming, or?
I heard rumors of W track.
Or is that something? Is that something you dreamed about?
No,
like,
I definitely heard people talking.
Rap track.
There is a W track token, and it's 21 million. So I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense then.
Yeah, it is important. Just like you mentioned, the current marketplace support is quite limited, and it's mainly Ordinal's wallet and SatsX.
Yeah.
What we have been seeing from our own community is that a lot of people have a bit of trouble navigating at least Ordinal's wallet, because that's where most of the liquidity for Tap tokens is in. So they're unable to inscribe, for example. They don't know how to view their token balances, and they're really unable to, for example, buy, sell, or list, even though we have been pumping out videos on how you can perform each of these actions best. It doesn't seem to be that resonating with some of our community members yet. So I think that the Tap Marketplace is going to be incredibly useful, and it's going to be user friendly. So it will definitely be bringing in liquidity to our tokens and the project's ecosystem tokens.
Amazing.
Gotcha.
All right, we're gonna jump over here to TraverseLabs.io, guys. So check out this. Go to the site. They have a lot of features here. They do have the app, but like you said, the app is not working. I checked it myself.
It is.
So for now,
it is working. So the thing is, you're unable to view the balances within the vault.
Exactly. When I went into it, to my vault here, I was able to get into it. I get everything went to my vault here, and I do have all these I made hide from wife, and I don't remember all these from last week. But Shizzy Vault is where I had my OG pass.
Well, Shizzy, actually copy, if you could copy that address, if you don't mind, and if you could go to Geni Data.
Yep.
Also, Shizzy, I don't think you're going to be able to send it out right now.
He won't be able to. Yeah, it's going to be fixed like very, very soon. So I would anticipate within an hour or two. But you can see that you do have your Ordinal Revolution OG pass here, and it's unaffected. So even if again the front end goes down, it doesn't impact the balances or your asset holdings within the vault. Awesome. You can also see that you have received your token airdrop, and you can view that through the legacy track checker. If you input the same address, you'll be able to view it.
So I go to track.network.
Yeah.
And then I go to the legacy. I think it's on the top right. Yep, tracker. And then I'll take you to track legacy. I come here and I pop paste. And then I can see my traverse right here.
Yes, you can see that your address received the airdrop.
Awesome. Good stuff.
Yep.
All right. I did want to show the real quick the learn tab. So if you guys are interested in kind of looking at Traverse here, back. So just go to Traverse Labs, there it is, .io, and I'll bring up my screen one more time here. So if you go to trustlabs.io, there is a learn tab. So if you want to learn more about what these guys are building and everything, this is the area to do so. They have amazing, all these amazing videos here. Anything else? Did you want to get into any of this, or?
Yeah, the top ones are the articles, and those are mainly related to the token, and that's why, as you can see, the last update, specifically our move on migration from BRC20 to TAP, was around April 6th. So that's the reason the articles are still at April 11th. But if you go down, you can see the walkthrough videos, and we take you through the entire process. So everything from actually creating your account with Reverse to vault recovery, which is a feature that we have, that in the case you lose access to your wallet's private key and are unable to view your vaulted assets or your vault itself, you're actually able to recover your assets with any wallet that you choose, regardless of what happens to that private key. So in our case, we'll be taking a look at unfreezing Bitcoin and Ordinals, and those are the two videos that are relevant for the withdrawals.
Awesome.
Do you want to start with maybe... Yeah, let's do unfreezing Bitcoin, and next one we can do Ordinals.
All right.
It's the same exact process, just to be clear. The reason why we have it as two videos is because for some wallets, like Xverse, you have two different recipient addresses. One is for Bitcoin, one is for Ordinals, Runes, and BRC20s.
Gotcha.
So you can see here, we
Wait,
just
with
clicked on
the volume, or you okay, sorry.
Well, he's gonna walk you through it.
Okay.
Yeah, you click on the Bitcoin, you click on the unfreeze button, and you enter the recipient address after you confirm how much of that Bitcoin you want to withdraw. So you select your network fee, and now you're going to confirm your email and authenticator codes, which are the necessary portion for any withdrawal that you make with Reverse. That's to make sure your security is there, regardless of what happens to your wallet's private key. So here we're finalizing on freeze, clicking on proceed, just confirming the network fees here. And you can see that the transaction has been confirmed. So the only thing that you need to remember is that you need enough Bitcoin in your vault to cover any network fees whenever you make any withdrawal. So that's the only thing you have to remember. And you can see now, after we returned back, after the transaction has been complete, that the Bitcoin we withdrew is in our wallet address. So it really is as simple as that, right? You're just clicking, you're selecting the amount of Bitcoin, or you're selecting the assets that you want to withdraw, you're confirming your MFA codes, and you're essentially just waiting for the block to be included and the transaction to be included in the block. And it's really as simple as that.
Interesting. All right.
The process for Ordinals is really just the same exact thing as well. So you will see it's pretty much identical.
Unfreezing Ordinals.
Yes.
Might just let me
scroll down a little bit more.
Oh, there.
There you go.
All right. So this is the Ordinals in the vault.
Yeah.
All right, it's running now, so you can walk them through it.
Yeah, so you can see here is that you're going to click on the Ordinals and whatever tokens you want. So in our case, it was the Ordinal inscription itself and the BRC20 token. So I'm not sure if the quality of the video, if you can just pause it for a second, Shizzy.
Yep.
I'm not sure, is it me or is the quality of the video just a bit...
Yeah, the quality of the video, even on my side.
You can change it, right? You can go to settings and you can go to quality. Yeah, you can select the highest quality you want.
No, you just the worse.
Yeah.
I need bifocals.
Is that better?
Yeah, this is perfect.
All right.
Yeah, you can see here it's the same exact process. We're just plugging in the withdrawal address that we want. We're selecting the assets we want to withdraw, and we're selecting the network fee that we want to do, and then just confirming our MFA codes. So again, email, authenticator, you confirm those, the withdrawal is done, and the transaction is just processing. It really is as simple as that. So
nice.
Here it's finalizing on freeze. And like one of the benefits of our vaults is that you are able to do the inscribed transfer within the vault itself. So you'll see that prompt coming up. And now that the transaction is confirmed on the traverse side. You're just going to wait until the transaction itself is included in the block. You come back and you see that, you know what, the inscription has been withdrawn. And you can see it in your recipient address. So you can see the traverse tokens here, and you can see the inscription are back in my wallet.
Amazing.
Awesome. Guys, then you can go to traverselabs.io and then hit the Learn tab, and you can see all those videos. So if there's another part of the platform you need a tutorial on, search that area. You'll probably find a walkthrough there. But
yeah, and if you have any questions in our Discord, we do have a Traverse Labs column. These guys check frequently, so you can go to our Discord. Our show, it's in the show notes. Our Discord is in the show notes. Check our Discord out. Go to Traverse, and you guys can ask any question that you need, or if you need any help, you can reach out to any three of us as well. So
yeah, and if you have feedback, like honestly, just plug it in the Traverse questions in Ordinal Revolution. You can plug it in our Telegram. Discord, we're very much open to it, and we genuinely want to hear your guys' opinion about Traverse, about the product, and what we're building as well.
Yeah.
Sounds great. All right, you want to jump into some questions?
Yeah, because we're running over here, but that was great segment there. Guys, we're gonna probably kind of hit on some of these questions and comments pretty quickly because we do have a meeting coming up here in the next half hour. But we definitely want to hit some of these comments and questions here. So we'll go and start with Joko. It says, "Hey guys, could you explain the main differences between Verothium DEX and BTC.fluid tokens? Thanks." Do you want to go ahead and answer the question?
Yeah, I mean, it's simple, pretty simple. Verothium is on Merlin. It is a full Uniswap V2. Fluid is a layer 1 limited order DEX. So I mean, that's the big differences. One is on L2, which is EVM compatible, and it has everything that Uniswap V2 has, and Fluid does everything on L1. Bitcoin
L1. Yeah. All right.
The only L1.
Good answer there. And then it says, Nuno says, will institutions dominate the mining industry in the future? Can small miners compete? Riot platforms, Texas, etc. I think there's small institutions are going to be gone, in my opinion. Eventually, they're going to be faded out. Too much money.
Scale. Yeah, it's a
scaled up. 100%. I actually seen that with a friend of mine that has a smaller warehouse in Midwest, and he's still going to do it for this bull run, but probably after that, he's done. All right. Vaxstone says, "Have you minted Tap Zero? Have you minted Tap Zero?"
Yeah, I have.
Yes,
I have minted Tap Zero.
Nice. Everybody has minted Tap Zero, guys. Yeah, so that is a big yes right there.
I mean, why not?
Neomeister. Right? Neomeister says, BTC going to zero. Satoshi scammed us.
Ooh, it's all over, guys. Neomeister has been here for freaking months, and he comes back with this shit? The hell?
Not going to zero, buddy. Not going to zero. Crypto Hot News says, any update about Surf Protocol? Yagobi trading volume passes $1 billion. Amazing for a starter. Yeah. We did touch on Surf Protocol earlier today. As I mentioned, they're going to be in the spaces for the Merlin summer celebration spaces tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern. So look out for that. I think that Surf Protocol is going to be a big gap on Merlin chain. Obviously leading in volume. And so GMX of Merlin, in my opinion. You guys want to hit on that real quick, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think you answered it perfectly. It's we talked about it a lot earlier, so.
Yep. Cheaty says, in the 5K to 100K challenge, the fees that are spent during purchases, are they being accounted for in the overall sum with reference to 5K?
Yes. So we sent $2,500 over to that account so far, and you can see in the value that it was only 2,478 or something. You can see that was the actual buying power. The rest was fees. So when we say 5K for that challenge, we're sending 5K over max, and then we're using what we need to use.
Yep. And really quick, Cheaty says the Tap Zero mint is ending today at 23:59 UTC. So do that conversion to your time zone, but it is ending very soon. So make sure you take advantage of that. Thanks for that
info. About 7 hours
Cheaty.
From right now, yeah.
Crypto Hot News says, we said on a tweet that the trend on Merlin has changed to uptrend. Do you believe we saw the bottom price? So I think we're really close to a full reversal. It really depends on how bad Bitcoin gets. If it blows past my targets of 58, touching 58,000 again, and then that's it, and it goes to 50,000, then Merle will probably dip further. And if that happens, you could see maybe 24 cents, 23 cents around there. But I can't really see it getting below that. Could be completely wrong. I'm actually extremely bullish on the Merle token though in general, and that's because I compared a lot of ERC20 tokens that launched with Ethereum early in that phase, and Merle's a BRC20. It's a Bitcoin fungible native token, and it created its own sidechain, which Polygon started as a sidechain. And so I feel like there's just so much upside for that. And this is whenever liquidity flows in like aggressively 100%. To the entire crypto markets. Let's see if there's any other here. Well, okay, so this is a good. Yeah, I was gonna say this is a good one for Abdul. Can maybe start this one off. It says if you have to choose for long-term crypto investment, which will be between Track, Merle, and Dog, you have to choose one. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but it's a question for you if you have an answer.
It's not financial advice. I mean, take it with a bit of bias, but I would say Track. For me personally, it would be Track.
Yeah.
I also,
okay.
Yeah, full disclaimer. I mean, I did short at some point Merlin. So I shorted it when it was at 0.9 when I saw all the FUD back in, I want to say late April. So I did short Merlin.
He's still holding it?
No, he probably closed that out.
No, that's huge. That's a huge shade for sure.
Yeah.
It's not a testament or like it's not me trying to say that I think Merlin chain is bad or that I think everyone who's building on Merlin chain isn't going to succeed. No, I just thought that at that point a lot of FUD regarding the airdrop. People don't know how to withdraw their assets. It didn't seem like they made it easy, so I just took advantage of that.
Yeah, 100%. And the other thing too is like I think Track's at what, a $25 million market cap. It's not it's not even there. What is it like? No,
22 or 23.
Yeah, it's small. I mean, Dog's at 700 million, Merle's at 700 million, so it's an easy. I mean, if you're looking for X's, Track is
Merle's isn't really at 700 million though. It's lower than that because it's they're accounting for the full thing. It's a lot
still
lower.
10 times the size of Track, in my opinion. A lot less money needs to come in the Track.
It looks like Merlin is at 119.
It's 119 million. So yeah, I mean, maybe not 10 times, maybe a little bit less. But anyways,
5.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Track to me is a token that probably, if I were to give it like a grade right now, I would probably give it like maybe like a B-, because I feel like it's underperformed compared to like the Ordis and compared to the Sats, because it had a big following in the beginning. There was no reason why it shouldn't have crossed over $20, in my opinion.
I mean, there was no infrastructure for it. It was an infrastructure play with no infrastructure.
Well, I'm just saying there was nothing with Ordi, and then like
Ordi was a meme.
This long.
Memes blow up.
Well, I'm just saying like utility plays, and then you have Sats that like did pretty well, but like Rats and all these things. Like my point though is that I feel like with how much hype, and it was a bunch of people talking about in the crypto space. I felt like it should have easily crossed $20. That's just my opinion.
If Tech was out during that area, it would have.
Yeah, and they were indexing too, by the way, Bitmap and a bunch of different stuff. So it wasn't like there was no utility or infrastructure there. There was, but
Chainlink doesn't do good in bull markets. Chainlink does better in bear markets. So it's like,
well, I'm just saying what my opinion is. And my opinion is, I think like $20 should have been pretty easy whenever you had already at 90 something and it was the same supply. Now, I do think it outperformed a ton of tokens. I mean, it got to like $8, right? So but like, again, you had some like MMSS, I think got to $7, and you had like VTCS that got to like all these dollar points. So for me, I do think that there's still good upside for Track. I would actually go with Merle because I think the upside there is enormous from where it is now, right? So I think where people might have cashed out really well on a short right after, which was really smart, taking the opportunity right there. I think the opposite is going to come to be able to long that position. But that's the one that I'm most bullish on in terms of stability and stuff. Obviously, dog, its market cap's too big for me to I'd pick Track or Merle before dog, just because it's too big. I think it's going to be huge, but it's already at $500-600 market cap.
Just to briefly touch on a point you made, Yagobi, when you mentioned, they were indexing bitmaps, indexing other projects at the time, regular people or people who don't have technical background, especially regarding what indexing even does or what it is that it even means, will not necessarily see Track and the TTP ecosystem as doing something at that time, because people simply don't understand what indexing means, right? So I think for the majority of the people, they might have just assumed that the TTP team was doing nothing, or there were no developments at that time.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I do think that there was a lot of influencers that organically started talking about Track, though, and it became like this big popular like it was like a almost kind of like a cultish following that built up with Track because those influencers knew a little bit about a little bit, right? So they were like Indexer, this is a utility play infrastructure and stuff like that. But again, like our target's always been $30 for Track, at least at a minimum for a strong bull run. I've adjusted that a little bit just because, I think there's so many variables now. I think like a conservative now at a peak bull run is probably $18-20, and then like extremely bullish, it could get towards 100. Who knows, how long or how aggressive it takes off.
Real quick though, Track did 114x from where you bought it.
Yeah.
So I mean,
dude, I'm not saying that like I didn't benefit from Track. Like I just said that like it would be between Track and Merle over dog. So obviously I'm bullish on Track. I did the math though.
114x from 7 cents.
I mean, for me, it's like
he wanted 300.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like the potential was there. The potential was there for it to cross $20. Why it didn't, I don't know. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole, but it did have success for sure, and I think it could have a lot of success. So I hope that like it does do what I think the potential allows it, or could allow it to do. All right, guys, this is the last question, and of course, it's from our guy Yashir. That's always here. He says, one question for Mr. Abdul. Can you explain about your community mascot announcement in your Discord? The information is not clear. Thanks in advance.
What is this?
Yeah, so it was just a community thing that we wanted to run. So what we were trying to do is really just encourage the community to come up with like a relatable, Traverse mascot. It could be like a penguin, for example, something similar to what Monad Labs does, or the Ghost with Ghosty as well, right? We want something relatable. We want something fun. We want something you guys can recognize from the community. So anyone from the community who comes up, with a Traverse mascot that the community finds interesting, finds it best, then they will be rewarded with, something special in their Traverse votes.
I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna win.
Let's see. Let's see. Would love to. Apologies if it wasn't clear. I'll make sure. I'll make sure to edit the announcement to make it clearer.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, guys. It looks like that wraps us up, and we appreciate you, Abdul, for joining us like you do every Wednesday, updating the community on Traverse Labs, and just letting everybody know why they should make security a focus of their Bitcoin Layer 1 assets. So we appreciate you, and we look forward to having you on next week.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me, and thank you for everyone who's listening to the space as well. We'll make sure next time that there won't be any technical issues, and apologies for I guess the last minute indexer maintenance. So we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, don't apologize. It was a fun episode. I love talking, Track with you. So thank you so much for coming on. And I think it's a really good opportunity for you to kind of show your side of crypto, and not just Traverse. So appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you talking with us.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you, buddy.
Sounds good.
Take care.
absolutely amazing as always. We appreciate him every single time coming on because, like, you know, obviously he's a partner of ours, but he doesn't have to, you know, come on like he does. So given his personality, we think is huge for his project, and it's fun. It's seriously fun having him on.
Yeah, 100%. And guys, please check out our other partners as well. Ordinal Hive, they're soft launching on. So soft launching is a secret on Friday. I believe their Hive passes will be minting on Friday as well. So make sure if you're whitelisted that you pay attention to that. Fluid tokens, we're going to have Fluid Fridays. On Friday, we'll have Raw on, I believe this Friday, going over their updates, which I believe the dashboard's going to be ready by Friday. So you can track all your points, guys. So make sure that you're doing activity on that platform and DEX so you can receive possibly an airdrop for the pass. VDEX as well is going to be launching here soon in the next week and a half on Merlin Chain, and then Traverse Labs. We just talked about them with the #1 security solution on Bitcoin.
Yes, sir. And guys, please go check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles here. So check out every single article. If you know someone new in the space, please send them our website. This can really help them really get started. And also, if you're going to Bitcoin Nashville, we will both be in Bitcoin Nashville. So come down and check us out. It should be fun. You get 21% off conference tickets here. Do not pay full price. Get the coupon here and use that. So definitely check out that. Should be a fun time there. So yeah. And I think that's our show, guys. We're live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Pacific, so 8 a.m. Pacific. So check us out all week. We'll be here, you know, the next 2 days. And then every Sunday, we put out a weekend update. But on top of that, we're going to have a couple special videos for you guys this week. We're going to have Unitap. We're going to have Bob Bodley and much, much more. So check us out all week, guys. Hit the little bell icon. Please hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.
We OG, oh no, G. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload, yeah. Experts on reload, yeah. You're not bullish enough, yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock, ayy. Runes is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro.
Run stuff.
Got friends right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro.
Yeah.
Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, lock it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.